Well, welcome. Thank you for joining me for another time with the Father. And I have a treat for you. I have with me here today, I'm going to call her a friend. I've gotten to know her, and I'll tell you how. And so Amanda is with us. And Amanda, I'm going to ask you to pronounce your last name for our audience.
Van Auker.
I love it. So Amanda Van Auker is here this morning. And listen, this is how I know her. She, as I was recovering from a hip replacement, as most of you know, I went through that through Christmas. She was my physical therapist. But while we were working physically to get this body back in shape, she shared with me something that she does that is so out of the box that I said to her, please let me interview you. So, Amanda, welcome. We're so
Thank
glad you're
you.
here.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Awesome. And so I want you, if you would, tell us a little bit about yourself and your platform and just kind of what you do, whatever you'd like to share.
Okay. As you mentioned, my name is Amanda, and I'm actually also the Gulf Coast Girly, and I'm a content creator on TikTok. When I was born in Ohio, but when I was 7, my parents divorced, and my mom brought me south, and my dad stayed north. And my mom met a man that was a angler and a first mate on a fishing boat. And so my love for the water and marine life and
Oh,
wildlife began at that point in time. We lived in Georgia, but we also traveled a lot. We had a piece of property and a house that we stayed at in Destin. So lots of my time growing up was in Destin and around the water. Um, I moved back to Ohio as after my son was born. He was 5 years old, and I moved back to Ohio. And I always said when my youngest graduated college, I was going back to the water. And soon after she graduated college, I was gone. I sold almost everything that I had, pretty much 75% of everything I owned. Our house, we bought a 40-foot RV coach and with our 3 huge dogs, and we moved down to the beach. We lived in that RV for about a year and a half before I bought a house, and I bought the house, and here we are. So we've been down in the Orange Beach, Alabama area, going on 4 years now.
wow. Okay, so physical therapy and TikTok creator.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes,
It-
yes.
uh,
Yeah.
they do they go together? Is it like oil and water? I now I really understand why you do the TikTok because your love for the beach. That's
Mhm,
amazing.
mhm. I do think that they go together because I think when you work when you have patients, you have to have there's something that we have to have and that we give to have those patients and care for those patients and be a caregiver for those patients. And it's the same as a content creator because I go live on TikTok. So it's not that I just create content, which I have
Mm.
found that I'm not too shabby at, but I go live. And so I spend, an hour and a half to 2 hours with complete
Mm.
strangers. But it's just the gift to gab and just that heart for people that I think that has brought those two things together.
That's amazing. And so that's how you got started. You moved down here. Okay, so you were doing physical therapy, and what inspired you to do the TikTok content creativeness
Gonna be
besides working with people?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. So,
Okay, please.
you know, we sit around on our phones and we scroll and scroll and scroll. And honestly, the first thing I was like, these people are making money for that with that. How can I make money doing this? So that was my first thing. And
Mhm.
I thought you're supposed to have a niche. So I was creating videos that were just absolutely ridiculous, like trying to be funny, trying to be things that I'm not. And one day God was like, Amanda, it's right in front of you. You're at the beach every day. It's right in front of you. And so
Wow.
that's when the Gulf Coast Girly formed and was created, and I started doing sunrises. So I get up in the morning and I started live streaming on TikTok. And it's just grown from there. I mean, the projects that I've now been involved in, and the things that we do in our lives is just absolutely mind-boggling, and it's a lot of fun. It's grown into so much more. It's grown into a community. TikTok has given us our own gift, just for my page, which is what an honor to have our own gift. So we have a blue heron that's a friend of hers now that has befriended me since October. He's with us every day, and it's just magical.
That's so okay. So I got to go back to something. I thought that was so good. You said you wanted to know how you could do it to make some money. We're all trying to, earn some extra income. And you were doing something that wasn't you. And then you said, God said it was right in front of you. I
Mhm,
think that is so significant. I
mhm,
mean, that would teach, like we look and look and look and look, and it's oftentimes right in front of you. And you're just
mhm.
being yourself. You're doing what
Yes.
you were created to do. But you know what I think? A lot of people have some misconceptions about the whole TikTok, online, Instagram, you name it.
Mhm,
Um, I know I did. I was
mhm,
hesitant as well. I was trying to do something and I thought I should do something and I felt like I wasn't being myself until I could just
mhm,
just be myself. So what would you say to someone? I think there's some misconceptions that are
mhm.
out there. How can we dispel some of those misconceptions? What would you say some are?
Um, TikTok, gonna be honest, there can be, there's another side to TikTok, but there's another side of TikTok. There's the community. And if you
Okay.
find that community, if you stay in your lane and find that community, there's a whole world out there. TikTok is turning into the next Google. People go onto TikTok and they Google what's the best beach? What's the hotels um in Orange Beach, Alabama? Who has a live stream of a sunrise? Who has a live stream of a sunset? So it's becoming
Okay.
the next Google. It's getting so big. And so I just think the misconception is that it's not just drama. It's
Okay.
not all political. Um,
Mhm.
there's a lot of good spaces on TikTok.
That's really good to know. You touched a little bit about how you've expanded it and all the different things that you've been doing. How
Mhm.
has that impacted and your listeners and followers? Please
Mhm.
share with my audience I want to know the statistics too. They need to know how you went from just streaming sunrises to where you are now. Can you kind of build that, maybe bullet point that for us?
Sure. When I first started, I would probably have 20 to 25 people on my live stream. But just I had this compliment the other day. Someone said to me while I was live at an event on Sunday that was not my normal time. I had over 100 people on my live at that time. And this person is he's kind of like a star along the panhandle. And
Okay.
he came up behind me and he looked at my TikTok and he looked at how many people I have and he's like, wow. He's like, you have a good community. And I said, I do. I'm very blessed. And he said, that's because you're real. So, you know, starting off and having those 25 people, um, and then just being real, engaging with that community, we've grown and grown and grown. And I'll have 100 to over 300 people on my live every day now. Um, it's such a blessing. There's so many, like I said, avenues that this has taken me. I'm now with a marketing company to help people Google, what's the best hotels. Well, guess what? Gulf Coast Gurlie is out there hitting the streets, getting those hotels marketed and linked, and so they can book through me and get discounts. So that's one way. Um, the other thing that we're doing, and this is crazy, this is so crazy, that I had a mom come in, a grieving mom, and she's been on my live for a while now. And she asked me one day if I could write her name in the sand. And to back up, I think that it's really important. My number one thing for my lives is to acknowledge everybody in my room. I try to engage with them, know that they're there, and I write the top three supporters of each live. I write their name in the sand. So she asked me if I could write her son's name in the sand. And in my back of my mind, I was thinking, that's really not what I do, but you're going to do this, Amanda. So I did. I wrote her son's name that had passed in the sand. And
Mm,
then she brought another mom in and she asked me to write her mom's,
wow.
her daughter's name in the sand. And I said, okay. So I did it. And
Mm,
I came home that day and I was in the shower and I was like, and I forgot to tell one really key important part, but I was in the
mhm,
shower and God said, this is what you're supposed to do.
mm,
And backing up to why I started Also My Live. Yes, it was about money, but also for the beach. I'm there. I love the beach. But
mm,
my daughter lost her best friend. They had been best friends since they were little, in a horrible accident when she was 22.
mm,
Alexa loved the beach. Loved, loved,
mm,
loved, 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 loved the beach. That was her happy place. So
mhm,
my profile has, it's in honor of her. And so and we always use yellow hearts because that's in honor of Alexa. So
mhm.
we have the Alexa, and
Wow.
then we have this mom coming in and ask me to write names. And God said, you're supposed to do this, Amanda."
Mhm,
And so now I'm working with that mom, with other moms, and if they come in, that I will be writing um, one child's name in the sand every live at the end of the live to honor that child and that mother. So it's just amazing the doors that God has opened with this live and in our
wow.
community. And we call
Wow.
our community is the Finns family. So we are now we have been, but we are the Finns family.
I love that. And your community helped you with all that, didn't they?
Oh,
Like,
100%. If I didn't have my community, oh my gosh, they helped me name it because we were what were we? The golf gang when we first started. And I was
yeah,
like, that's just not clicking. And so
yeah,
we became the Finns family. And absolutely, my community is amazing.
that is so cool. I'm just thinking about the number of people that are in the room, in your online room as you're doing this, and you're acknowledging all of these, and then how you've pulled these special mothers. Actually, they found you,
Mhm.
and what you're doing by writing their loved ones' names
Mhm.
in the sand. So I'm curious. I want to know about some feedback. What are your other fans saying when you do something like that? I mean, I almost teared up and cried. That is so touching when you do that. What kind of a feedback do you get from others in the room?
Oh my gosh, the feedback is amazing. Like, I don't even sometimes when they share with me how they feel about what I do for them, I don't even believe that it's me.
Yeah,
It's just like I don't even understand because I don't understand. I'm just being me and I don't understand it. I'm blessed and I'm thankful and I'm honored.
sure.
I don't
Yes.
understand it. But I know I was thinking about a couple stories and I'm going to share two if that's okay real quick. And then
Please,
I
yes.
wrote something down that someone wrote, but our community, we have a Finn's family that had a cancer scare. And so, we all came together and we prayed for her and we waited for the results. And when those results came back, I got up and I was dancing in front of the camera. I was dancing for her. We have another Finn's family that her mom passed away unexpectedly. And,
Mm,
we're just there together praying for
mm,
them and helping them through this hard time. And that's what our community is about, that helping
mm.
each other through those times. But just also it's just a safe place. We have no politics, we have no
Yeah, yeah,
we have religion because we believe in God, and I stress that very
sure,
well.
sure.
But
Mhm,
we keep it positive energy.
mm,
um any make, model, creed,
mhm,
whatever
mhm.
belief,
Sure.
you are welcome to come in and
Yeah,
hang out with us because
yeah,
they are
yeah,
loved.
yeah. Really, you're the church. I mean, the church is the body of Christ, and you're just being the church on the beach. I just
I've
love it.
thought that many times.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
the church on
So
the beach. And you do
um
this every morning.
every morning. But just real quick, I have one real quick thing.
Yes,
This
another
is one
story, please.
feedback. They posted this recently with a picture, but she said, you may see these mornings as something you share, but to many of us, they are something you give.
Mm.
They are something you give. Your presence, your calm, your consistency matters more than you know. And what a blessing that it is. It's so cool.
What a
It's
blessing.
like
Yeah.
amazing. Amazing. So that's why I show up. So people are like, why do you show up every day? Because of them.
Oh, for sure. The community is there. And you hit one of the things you just said is so important if we're going to do something like this because you start it and it's not easy. You're up every morning. You're on, so to speak. And plus you have another job, a full-time job. But being consistent, there's so much inconsistency on these platforms in our world today. People might
Mhm.
like something that someone's saying and they may do it for 2 or 3 months and then they're gone. But your
Yes.
consistency, it speaks
Yes.
volumes because
Mhm.
you created a community
Yes.
and that's amazing. That's amazing. So I want you've said so much and I know I'm going to have some folks that are going to want to know more about the TikTok platform. I'll get your information in a moment, but I want what would you share with my audience, a faith-based audience as well? Some have talked about, stepping out and dabbling and doing some of this, but, they're a little afraid. What would you encourage them to do uh, with whatever God's given them? What would you say?
Do it.
Mm.
Do
Right?
it. I actually made a post today. I'm like, what are you waiting on? Um,
Mm.
and I would just really stress the fact that there are those communities, there are those Christian-based communities, there are sunrises that people get on and they have Bible study and prayer time. And I would just say that if you're really looking, I don't even know how to say it, if you're really looking to find
Mm.
friends, um, and a community, I would just do it. I don't know, it's so hard. It's so hard. I mean, that's what I always say. Just press that button. God will lead you.
Yes.
And I don't research anything. I don't think about anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of I wing it. That's one of my sayings on my live is like I just roll with it and I wing it. And for me that works. Some people it might be differently, but
Sure.
it's definitely a blessing to find that community and grow.
I think for a while, people have wanted to dismiss or debunk the whole virtual community. Like, well, I don't know who they are. I don't know where they live. I don't know them, but they're real people.
They are.
They're just real people. They're through a platform and,
Yeah.
through a camera, but they're real people living in different places all over the world.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Just real quick,
very,
wanted to mention with that, and yes, they are all over the world. It's amazing.
mm,
Um, but I will say that you do learn your community. You do learn who they are, about them, and I never thought I could love somebody that I had never met.
yeah,
But boy, do I.
yeah,
It blows my mind because I'm not like that. I'm not that person.
yeah.
I'm not that but love is very hard for me to do. And boy, I love them so.
So it seems like God has used this platform to pull out of you some things that you didn't even know were in
Oh,
there.
it's crazy. It is crazy.
I love it. Well, I want my audience to follow you. So I want you to say it slow. If they're not on TikTok, they can get a TikTok platform, right? And so how
Yes.
can they find you?
I am the Gulf Coast Girlie, and it's Gurlie, so it's spelled differently. And they just put that into the search bar, and I'll pop right up.
There you are. And
Thank you.
that's your main platform, right?
Yes, ma'am. I do have a Facebook Gulf Coast Girlie. That is more of the marketing side
Okay.
that we're creating with. I was invited to be the content creator for a marketing team here locally, and
Okay.
that will be for the marketing side of the Gulf Coast Girlie.
Okay. So they can find you on either place. Is that
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm going to put both of those descriptions below so they can look at that if they forget it or whatever they might do, different people. Anything else you want to, we're going to close. Anything else you want to share before we go?
No, thank you so much for thinking of me to do this. It's been fun. Thank
Well,
you.
it's amazing what you do is just so out of the box. I just love it. Like you, I think, oh, I could do something like that, but that's so not me. But I think we just have to step out, like you said, push the button, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yep.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And now we do this every Sunday. And so I want you to join me next week for another time with the Father. But remember, I like to always say at the end that the heart of the matter is the matter of the heart. I want you to listen and take some of Amanda's advice and push that button. And we'll see you next. So that's how I like to end my time with the Father. Amanda, how do you end your TikToks?
We end the same way every day. We wave to the waves and the dolphins and the sharks and whatever's out there. And I always say, as always, we give God all of the glory for this day.
I love that. And so we'll end with that and we give God all the glory.